Welcome back. Preconditioning your calves can add value to your bottom line when it comes time to sell. Cattleman to Cattleman's Todd McCartney headed to Muddy Gap, Wyoming to learn more about the Split Rock Ranch and how preconditioning has made a positive impact on their operation.
Well, Cattleman to Cattleman has brought us to beautiful Wyoming today. We're at the Split Rock Ranch in Muddy Gap, Wyoming, the home of Dr. Dallas Horton. Hortons own this operation as well as Horton Feedlot and Leachman, Colorado Cattle, a fine operation. First, let me ask you about your family because I know they play a vital role.
I feel more comfortable if you'll call me Dallas instead of Doctor. And I'm proud of that background, that name, because my grandfather came from Dallas, Texas with one of the last trail herds when he was about 12 years old with his uncle, and to Miles City, Montana, and named my dad after the town of Dallas where he came from, and then I'm a junior. So that's where my roots came from. But I have 3 boys. One boy, Troy, ran the ranch here until his wife had health problems and they moved to Nebraska. The other 2 boys, Trent, he runs the general manager of our 3 feedlots in Colorado, and then Travis runs one of those lots, which is the research center where we've done all our trials, and also where we have the Leachman of Colorado. And of course, the help on all of that is my good wife, Mary. She helps in the office with the books, and so that's it. We have a partner here on the ranch, and we have partners down at the feedlot.
Who looks after this operation for you?
Yeah, this operation now is looked after by a young boy named Travis Stevenson and his good wife, Jenny Lou, and they have 2 little guys that help out. One boy, Cooper, he's 9 now, so he hired on this summer as one of the wranglers and doing a good job, and so he and I worked out a deal.
Dallas, as a veterinarian, as a cow-calf and seed stock producer, as well as a feedlot operator, review for us what a preconditioned value-added calf program does and how it benefits.
Well, if I summarize that for you in the points we've been through here, why, as I see it, you'd start with a good genetic program. Get a modest-sized cow, $75 head advantage. Make that cow, if you can, a crossbred cow. It's another $75 head advantage. Now take that crossbred super genetics, and you use a maternal line to make the replacement heifer. Use a terminal line that's much bigger, like Charolais or some other breed that gives you a lot more weaning weight. Big thing for that rancher is weaning weight and weaning rate. So you got those 2 things. They're good for you. They're good for the guy on the other end that's going to feed these cattle, because he wants cattle to gain and convert well. So of all those things in there, feed conversion is the most economically important. A 6-to-1 conversion versus 6.5-to-1 today is $50 a head at today's grain price. That's a big number. Nothing else in the database will match $50 a head. So focus on feed efficiency. So on our end on the ranch, small cow bred to a big bull makes a lot of sense. So then we move into the next phase, and that's weaning this calf, going through getting him weaned right, bunk broke, getting him vaccinated right, getting him on a good plan of nutrition, take those stresses and spread them out over a 45-day period instead of 1-day period. And you now age and source verify that calf. Now when you get the package done, you got genetics, you got efficiency, you got gain, you got conversion, you got health because you vaccinated them and weaned them. You did it over a 45-day period of time. Now age and source verify them, and there's the total package.
Dallas, what actually is the purpose of preconditioning?
As I see it, we can just get that simple and summarize it, is to reduce stress, because stress is the main problem with this disease, which is shipping fever or pneumonia in the feedlot. It's our most common disease, our most costly disease, the feedlot. And there's been good studies shown by a lot of research to show, hey, if we can keep these cattle from getting sick, a well one doesn't die. It's the sick ones that die. So the main objective is let's not get them sick. So everything we can do here at the ranch before they get there is going to reduce stress. If we wean this calf, ship this calf, change the nutrition on this calf all in 1 day, that is a lot of stress, and that's when they get to the feedlot and they just fall apart. But if we can say fence line, I think is the best at the ranch if it can be set up to be done. Fence line that wean that calf. Now we've done that, just one thing. Now we put him on a ration and a bunk. And that ration would vary depending on what part of the country you're on. And you need to get a nutritionist involved in there, so we have a good, well-balanced, least-cost ration. Least cost stuff to get today with high-priced feed. So now we've changed his ration. Now if we get that done, now we'll put him into transportation and ship him. So when he gets there, we've taken 4 or 5 things and jammed them into one day? No. We took 4 or 5 things and spread them out over 45 days. And if we get stress out of the way, his natural immune system with a good vaccination program will handle the stresses that he gets when he gets to the feedlot. When you're preconditioning and vaccinating these calves, I'd highly recommend that you go to your local veterinarian and get his advice. Personally, I've always supported the pioneer products that reinvest money back into the industry in the form of research. The generic products don't do that. I think we got to continue to support those that are always looking for a better way.
When we return, we'll hear from a veterinarian who has some tips you can use to help get the most money from your calves. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A strong preconditioning program on your operation can only mean good things for your bottom line. Let's return to Todd McCartney in Muddy Gap, Wyoming.
While here at Split Rock Ranch, I've had the opportunity to visit with Dr. Jerry Woodruff, professional service veterinarian for Fort Dodge Animal Health. Jerry, as we talk about these preconditioned and value-added calves, how does that open us up to more profit opportunity?
Well, Todd, I would agree with Dr. Horton. He'd mentioned that we need to have a good genetic base in our calves, and that's very true. But to realize and maximize that benefit, we need to have those calves stay healthy, and that's where a value-added calf health program fits right in there.
Where do we start then with the proper health protocol?
The proper health protocol ought to begin with the producer sitting down with his local veterinarian. That veterinarian is a great source, understands that operations management and their facilities, and that's a good way to develop that program.
And then records are vital, I'm sure.
Certainly, we need to have process verification, and that fits very well with the Prime Protection Program that Fort Dodge Animal Health has available to producers. We're wanting to document what kind of processes the calves have received, whether that's at branding time, pre-weaning, or weaning, or the preconditioning period. What we're seeing is through recent auctions where those preconditioned calves are easily bringing $3 to $5 a hundredweight over the undocumented calves.
A pretty safe route then, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's a good benefit for the health of the calves, and there's a financial reward in it as well for the producer.
How do you answer the question of, do I go that route, or do I hold off and try to hit one of the organic or all-natural programs?
Well, you certainly need to make sure that you've done your homework and got your program in place, because those premiums that people talk about with a natural or an organic program, those only apply to about 2 to 3% of the whole calf market, so not everyone is going to get those, so you certainly need to have your program set up in place prior to going down that avenue.
Well then, how would you summarize it all?
Well, Todd, adding value to the calf certainly begins with the genetics of his parents, but when you start putting your health program together, most people start with a branding time or a spring turnout vaccination when those calves are maybe only a month or 2 of age. That would be a good start. Then if your management system fits this, you can do a pre-weaning vaccination, 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead of weaning, and that's a good second step in that program.
Jerry, thank you for your insight. Well, that's a wrap here at Split Rock Ranch in Wyoming. Back to you, Susie.
For more information on preconditioning programs, visit our website at cattlemantocattleman.org.